In this video, we will cover the Govt. of India Act 1935. So, the Govt. of India Act 1935 was an act of the Parliament of the United Kingdom. It originally received a royal assent in August 1935. It was the longest act of Parliament ever enacted until Greater London Authority Act 1999. Because of its length, the Act was retroactively split by the Govt. of India Act 1935 into two separate acts. The Govt. of India Act 1935 having 321 sections and 10 schedules. The Govt. of Burma Act 1935 having 159 sections and 6 schedules. So, Indians have increasingly been demanding a greater role in the government of their country since the late 19th century. The Indian contribution to the British war effort during the First World War meant that even the more conservative elements in the British political establishment felt the necessity of constitutional change, resulting in the Govt. of India Act 1919. The Act introduced a novel system of government known as provincial diarchy, that is, certain areas of government such as education were placed in the hands of minister responsible to the provincial legislature, while others were retained in the hands of officials responsible to the British appointed provincial governor. While the Act was a reflection of the demand for a greater role in government by Indians, it was also very much a reflection of British fear about what the role might mean in practice for India. So the experiment with diarchy proved unsatisfactory. A particular frustration for the Indian politicians were that even for those areas over which they have gained nominal control, the pursued strings were still in the hands of British officialdom. The intention had been that the review of India's constitutional arrangements would be held 10 years on from the 1919 Act. In the event, the review was conducted ahead of time by the Simon Commission, whose report proposed by scrapping the diarchy and the introduction of a much larger degree of the responsible government in the provinces. This proposal was controversial in Britain, demonstrating the rapidly widening gulf between British and the Indian opinion as to the desirability, extent, and the speed of progress towards the promised system of self-government contained in the 1919 Act's preamble. Although the Simon Commission has taken evidence in India, it had met with opposition there and its conclusions were not accepted by the Congress. In an attempt to involve Indians more fully in framing out a new constitutional framework, a series of roundtable conferences were then held in the early of 1930s, attended at times by representatives from India's main political parties as well as the princely states.